Hi, this is Richard Reeve at the Boydell Centre for Population Ecosystem Health at the University of Glasgow, and I'm going to be talking about 2 landscape decisions grants that we've been awarded. The first on adapting a global model of plant biodiversity competition and response to climate change to the UK, and the second on adapting it to aid in landscape decision making. This work has come out of a long-standing collaboration between myself and Neil Bromett, the Natural History Museum, who manages the IUCN's sampled Red List Index for plants, through Claire Harris, a former EPSRC PhD student at the University of Glasgow, now at Biomathematics and Statistics Scotland. We're aiming to take a model of plant biodiversity that I'll talk about shortly and adapt it to the 1800 plant species in the UK on a fine grid resolution, 1 kilometre, so that it will model species interactions and dynamics under land use and climate change in the UK. We have 2 specific policy-focused questions that we're interested in. The first is how we can help peatland action in understanding how peatland plants will respond to climate change and where they should target the restoration work that they're funding. And the second is with Scotland's Centre of Expertise in Plant Health, the Plant Health Centre, in understanding risks of invasive plant species, invasive pests and disease in the UK and specifically into Scotland. Our original model, which has grown out of Claire's PhD, models niche preferences for all plant species on Earth, which is achieved by joining 2 global databases, GBIF for plant records and ECMWF for climate reconstructions. We extract the trait preferences directly from the join of these 2 beta databases, and then we model plant competition. However, these models are not fitted to other parameters of plant growth and, for instance, land use, and so only capture part of the dynamics that are going on at a global scale. At that scale, we have captured a century's climate history and used it to model plant competition and dynamics across Africa and South America, and we found it captures biodiversity hotspots very well at a large scale, although there are some anomalies. For instance, Lagos in Nigeria, we believe should be a very biodiverse area. However, as we said before, the model before this NERC funding didn't capture land use, and in fact Lagos itself is a large river delta system, and we believe that probably this is the model working accurately, and had the city not been there, then Lagos would have been a very biodiverse region. We've been using data from a large number of sources. We're now focusing in on UK sources of high resolution data rather than the coarse resolution GBIF and ECMWF data to extract data from CEH and the Met Office resources from plant out. And we also want to start to use outputs from joules as inputs into our model, as the climate vegetation models are much better in that simulator than they are in ours. We're also taking land cover data to model land use differently for different environments, and in particular modelling crops so that we don't get invasive wild species coming into cropland, because these will be excluded by the farmers. We're also modelling soil preferences for different species now, which we weren't able to do at a global scale. So the small mass grant has taken the 1,600 species that we can model. A couple of hundred are species such as seaweeds that we're not modelling in this context. And we've added in these land use and crop categories, we've added in soil preferences, we're running at this much finer resolution, and we're starting to incorporate other features such as plant growth models that we're aiming to extract from joules. This work's now largely done, and so we're moving on to the large mass grant, which has just begun. The largest part of that is being carried out by the Natural History Museum, who are developing software for automated plant trait extraction from the taxonomic literature, and then Anna Claudia will be validating that with by hand to ensure that the data is accurate. As I said earlier, we're applying these to two specific problems: to invasive plant pests and diseases, the Plant Health Centre, and to restoration work for the Scottish peatlands. And that work will be going on over the next couple of years. So there's a lot of work going on in this project, and a lot of people involved. Sonny Townsend and Jana Jaglinski at Scottish Natural Heritage, Ben Scott writing the automated trait extraction software, Anna Claudia Araujo is the botanist doing the validation work, Neil's leading the work at the Natural History Museum, Christina and I in Glasgow, and Claire and Glenn Marion in Biomathematics and Statistics Scotland. I should say, however, that this work has been interrupted for the last month and will be for the immediate future, as we're forming part of a COVID-19 modelling consortium, and the biodiversity simulator that we've been developing is currently being adapted to run human disease models rather than plant disease models to help understand the spread of the disease across the UK. But for the time being, that's us.